I was going to ask about your figure drawing class. Is it the traditional, you have a nude subject come in and you draw them?
It's called traditional.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I mean, I took figure drawing. It was one of my absolute favorite classes. We were going to do a whole, like, everybody gets naked and we all draw each other, but I think I was the only one that signed up for that.
No, these are all like...
Thank you, everyone, for joining us again for Pixels After Dark. I'm one of your hosts, Joe. With me, as always, is Ruby, PxlatedTraveler.
Hey.
Tyler can't be with us tonight. With us tonight is our guest host, the one and only Elaine, NerdandNeedle. How you doing, Elaine?
I'm so sad Tyler I kicked him out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always so much fun when you join us, Elaine. I mean, you have so much energy, and it's literally as soon as you got on the call, I was already just dying.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That was me. My bad. Bad etiquette.
Well, we're not alone tonight. Tonight, our special guest tonight is LOL Pants 725, but Kayla for short.
Yeah.
Kayla, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Some people, we're going to dive right into it a little bit. Some people might not be aware of, who you are and everything. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I'm from Minnesota, as I kind of explained earlier. I am back in school, I guess, for the second time now. I do a whole lot of work, school, gym. So I have a very little bit of time here and there. I don't have any pets or anything like that. My life isn't that exciting. It's pretty just low key because I'm so busy that I'm just going from one thing to the next. So there's not a lot of time during the day, but, I guess what else do you want to know? I'm not really good at these things. So I'm just like, don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
Well, what got you into doing art and being creative?
Well, I've always really liked drawing. Actually, when Spider-Man came out with Tobey Maguire, I fell in love with Spider-Man, and I drew Spider-Man on everything. And that's kind of when I really started picking up on drawing. Is I would just draw Spider-Man everywhere, and from there it kind of went into more of like portraits and stuff like that, and then whatnot. I actually took my first, like, I guess, art class for me in high school because I was homeschooled up until 9th grade. So I actually didn't go to public school until 9th grade, but I only went there for science and for art classes, but I was homeschooled for every other subject. So in those classes I progressed a lot more, and I really like drawing people. So I'm not, the best with like imagination creatures and stuff like that. I mainly focus on drawing figures. So I don't really do a whole lot of digital art either. So that's something I'm trying to work on too. I'm trying to save up some money for a tablet, hopefully sometime in the near future. So
you're a full-time student, right?
I'm a what?
Full-time student?
Yep. Yeah.
Game design, was it, I think?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What do your courses look like?
Right now, they just have me in like basic figure drawing classes, and I have a 4D design class that I'm also taking. Last week, I worked with a green screen, which really wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a lot harder, and I was like, this is probably like some of the easiest stuff I've ever done. And I made it about pizza too, so it was great because I got to eat it afterwards. So I was pretty happy about that. So, but the last two courses I've taken have been like figure drawing classes, and that's kind of like, I'm not gonna say it sucked the life out of me when it comes to drawing, but like when I come home, I do homework, and I do a bunch of drawing for that, of drawing people. Sometimes it's really hard to go and want to work on my own stuff because, I'm spending like 2 hours a day doing my homework for that class, and then I don't really want to work on anything else.
Draining. Yeah.
It's a lot of work. So I only have, I think, this is week 6, so I have 3 more weeks in this class, and I think this is the last actual like drawing class I have. Not
Like a
digital,
foundation
but
class?
like yeah. So I had a couple of credits that transferred when I did a graphic design degree, so that like canceled out a lot of like basic drawing classes, so I didn't have to retake all those.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I got
How far? Well, I'm sorry. How far into the degree, the courses, the program are you?
I'm a year into it, so I have 2 more years left to go.
Oh, gotcha.
That's
It's one of those 3-year bachelors or something.
Yep, it will be a
Yeah.
bachelor's. So, and like I said, I got to skip some of it for my graphic design degree that transferred over.
Yeah,
So that was
that's
nice.
good.
Yeah.
Nice.
When you
What
say,
Forward to. I'm sorry, I keep
"Oh my
asking.
gosh, Ruby!"
Oh, I graduated from game art and design, but it's been almost a decade, if not a decade. It's been a while. It's
Damn.
nostalgic. Plus, there's so many new things that they do now that we just didn't have back then. So I am so curious.
I was going to ask about your figure drawing class. Is it the traditional, you have a nude subject come in and you draw them?
called traditional.
Yeah.
Well,
Yes.
I took figure drawing. It was one of my absolute favorite classes. We were going to do a whole, like, everybody gets naked and we all draw each other, but I think I was the only one that signed up for that.
No, these are all like pre-recorded, and they just have you watch them for, they'll be like, oh yeah, so you have to do like, 10 gestures, and each one's 1 minute long, and they already have a model that's recorded for that amount of time, and you just draw according to your time limit on the video. So
Okay, it's a video, so it's not like an actual person in the room.
no, all my classes are online, so everything I'm doing is online.
Oh, okay, cool.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
The school I'm actually going to is the Rocky Mountain College of Art and Design in Colorado. So I've done everything online, and so far everything about it's great. There was only one mishap with one teacher that was learning online, like learning the online program, that kind of messed up some things, but he figured it out. After like a while, like everything was like late because he said all of his dates wrong, so everything locks if you don't turn it in on your date time. So it makes you actually go to your teacher and be like, oh yeah, this is late. It won't allow you to turn things in if it's late.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting.
but yeah, I like it. It's pretty easy so far. So
You haven't done like live model drawing yet, then?
well, no.
Well, if you get a chance, like, see if there's someplace in town that doesn't do it. It's so good.
It's the best experience.
Yeah, I guess
I
I'd have to
remember
check
that
it
in
out.
college.
Joe, were you the model?
No, but they were paying really good and it was super tempting.
That's why I wanted to do it.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, that was a shocker the first day. Yeah, she did not tell us we were having that model. It was just, yeah, there's some memories right there. Totally do it, Kayla.
If I have time, maybe someday.
Well, even at that, there's some like Dr. Sketchies and stuff that usually come in through towns. They do burlesque live figure drawing that are really cool.
Those would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be so cool.
It's really neat.
Mainly because I want to go to a burlesque show sometime because they're just so old school and like classic. You know what I mean?
Vaudeville.
Kayla, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you came up with your name?
Back in high school, the few friends that I did make, we were having a Halo LAN party at one of my buddies' houses, and they invited me with because they knew I liked video games, and I actually didn't own a 360. I only still had the original Xbox, so they invited me to come over and play, and they're like, well, this is all we got for you, and I was like, okay, so I'm LOL pants and whatever, and they're like, yep, and so ever since they gave me that name, I just added on the numbers onto my name, and that was my name. So I've been that name for a while. And so it's kind of a lame way to get my name, but I guess I like it.
You have a story for it, though, you know?
Yeah, all my old high school gaming buddies gave it to me.
It's nostalgic.
Did you just do the air quotes?
I don't talk to those people anymore. And I mean, they were my friends for like a brief amount of time. So, I mean, it was like in my senior year by the time I kind of made friends being homeschooled sometimes. It was very challenging for me to make friends. I'm not a very outgoing person. And sometimes it's really hard for me to get out, in a crowd to make friends. And so by the time I was at the end of high school, I was making, more friends, but it was almost like too late in a way. So I think I had like one friend my freshman year really throughout high school, which I'm still friends with her today. She's one of my only other like really traditional artist friends that I talk to, but it was not easy. It definitely wasn't easy going from homeschool to just throwing me into public school right away I had no idea what I was doing. So
I can imagine that being just a little overwhelming, hitting you all at once.
Oh yes. Very.
But you did great. I mean, look at you now.
You got one more friend. I just followed you on Twitter. Boom.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Did she just literally follow her just now?
I did.
She did.
Did you not hear the mouse clicks? It totally happened. That was not a reenactment.
I love it. What sort of music do you listen to, or what do you listen to when you're working on something?
A lot of the times, I don't really have a whole lot of room for drawing here at my apartment. I actually don't even have a desk. My computer's actually on the floor. If you haven't figured that out yet, but like,
I thought you were just comfortable.
No, my computer actually sits on the floor. But a lot of times I'll sit on the couch and actually just play my TV, and I'll throw something on, and I just like the background noise. But like for like music and whatnot, I love soundtracks. So like half of my music is just like soundtracks. It doesn't matter if it's for like Star Wars, Destiny, The Matrix. I have some Saw soundtracks. I just have soundtracks galore. I love them. What else? I don't know, kind of mix of things. I really like, well, actually I'm wearing their shirt now, but like Starset, I really like. The thing is I like with soundtracks is I can't sing to them because I will want to sing to my music if I'm playing something I really like. And then I'll just get distracted and I won't get anything done. So that's why it's easier for me to just throw the TV on or listen to a soundtrack because I want to do everything else besides draw.
Gotcha.
But, yeah.
No, I can totally relate with the soundtracks. I mean, actually, you listed off a couple, and I'm looking over at my phone like, that's on my phone right now.
I love soundtracks. I think they're great to just kind of zone out to, and you just kind of just go in your own world. And I have so many of them. I actually have to make a separate playlist for my music that's not soundtracks, because if I just put it on shuffle, it's just like all this classical music that's like, I'm not in the mood for this, but I can go through like 10 songs and not get anything that's just normal. So, yeah.
Actually, oh God, Whisper of the Worm, that quest in Destiny 2, there was the green room. So if you played the game and one of Bungie's rewards, if you did yada, 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 you actually got that song, the soundtrack for that room. I play that on loop when I'm working on stuff.
Dude, that's such a good song.
It is. And I love how it like becomes like 8-bit. Like at a certain point, it's just like so reminiscent of classic video games and everything. And I went off on a tangent. I apologize.
That's a good tangent.
Yeah, I'll edit it out. No, I'm kidding.
Well, if you want to get back to the questions, how do you brainstorm a project?
I guess it really depends on, what I'm doing. I know that sounds silly, but like most of my art is for people. I'm inspired by people I care about the most. I usually end up drawing pictures for. So usually that's how I kind of go, well, I know this person likes this or is like this, and so then I'll start looking up themes or ideas that have to relate to that. Or for like any of my Destiny stuff, I know like, oh, somebody in my clan, I know they are this or whatever, and if they're like one of my good friends, sure, I'll draw them a picture. But or like Salty Cat. I always like drawing stuff for him. And so it's like, you know, I always just try to think of something really fun and really cute that he would like, and I know his personality. And so it's like, you know, I can base a drawing off of something fun for him. But I guess more of my art's for people than it is just mainly for myself. If it's just for myself, sometimes I don't feel like I draw it as fast, but when I'm drawing it for somebody I actually like care about, I put a lot more effort, and I guess I want it to be really good. I want it to be perfect for that person because I want them to know that like this is coming from my heart to this person, and it's a gift. You know, other than that, like sometimes that's the only thing that seems to motivate me is I'm doing it for other people instead of just myself. Because if it's just for me, I'll just take my time, and it could be like months until I finish something because I get so slow.
Amen.
That's awesome.
That's why it's hard for me to make stuff for myself because they're like, "Oh, Elaine, why don't you ever like make things anymore?" I'm like, "I do, but it's always for other people because I always forget about me."
Right?
Like,
you're like, well, you can do that anytime. It's like you always rather. It's better to see somebody's smile on somebody else's face because you know you made that person happy by giving them something either they didn't expect or they were just blown away by it. So, yeah.
exactly.
That's so awesome. I really can't put it any other way. That's just so nice of you to do for other people.
I was going to say, so I know you don't do digital, but what other tools do you use? Like, what are your favorite traditional, I guess, or even non-traditional type of tools?
I love my Copic markers. Copic? I don't know how you say it. One of the two. Anyway, those are my favorite markers. I absolutely love them. And I've probably spent a lot of money on those markers.
As a business experience.
Anytime I have like a birthday, I was like, just get me a gift card for Blix art. So then I just go spend like $100 on markers. I was like, I don't have this color. I may need it, so I'm just going to buy it anyways. Those are my favorite things to work with. I do like just some straight black and white, but I've only been using marker for so long, and I feel like I'm still learning how to use them. But yeah, those are my absolute favorite thing. They're just expensive.
Those are nice markers. They are expensive.
Yeah, they're about $8 a piece for a marker, but if you buy more than like 6, it's like $6 a marker. It's like $2 cheaper.
Have you tried any techniques with them that aren't traditional, like splashing certain chemicals on it or just treating them differently?
I haven't. That would be a good idea, though, I guess, because I'm afraid of how expensive they are, that I don't want to be like, well, throwing that one away, I just ruined it.
No, I might have to dig up some things that you might be interested in, I think. That I used to be interested in, but I went digital pretty soon after, so I never got to explore it.
I hope to go digital. I just trying to save up the money for a tablet. Yeah, I mean, I still really love traditional. I do have a smaller Wacom tablet, but I don't like my hand being down here and my face being up at the screen.
Gotcha.
So I can't do it.
It's a big learning curve drawing like that, and once people adapt to it, it's almost like second nature. But
I did some digital portraits back in college, but then my Mac broke and my tablet broke, and so I threw it all away and haven't touched it in like 10 years. So they were really good too. I was really happy with them, but I haven't touched digital ever since then.
Dang.
I don't know. Salty Cat's saying, if you want proof about your digital work, go check out his banner on Twitter.
Oh yeah, that was both my mouse and my mouse. I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit here and trace this. And I'm
I love
gonna click and
that with your hand
drag.
right
Yeah.
That's what I probably annoy people when they're here or on my stream when I used to, and I did digitizing, because the best way to know what you're doing is a straight line makes a noise and a curved line makes a different noise. It's a left and right click. And so you're like beep boop beep boop beep. It's like I have to know what, like I have to make sure what I clicked is the right thing or it's gonna come out looking wonky. That's the only digital I do.
That's awesome.
My first pieces were, my first digital piece was actually vector in Illustrator.
Shocker.
Wow.
I didn't touch it for a long time after that, though. I didn't really get into it until like maybe 3 years ago now. Maybe 4 at most. But before that, it had been like a decade.
Dang.
Yeah, I mean, you can still get a lot done. Shush. I'm reading. He's like, shocking, Ruby. No, you can get a lot done surprisingly with mouse. I actually had this person in one of my classes back when I was in school, and what she would do is use the polygonal lasso tool in Photoshop, create the shape she wanted, color fill, erase away with the same tool, and she just sculpted with that.
That's pretty impressive right there.
It was. I mean, I think you can get into the groove of it, and that's what she did, and it worked for her. It was a style. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I can just, it just sounds really hard.
It's not. So often I just want to sit with people and be like, let me show you this. Let me just show it to you.
Anything's hard the first time you try it. So the more you do something, the easier it gets and the better you get at it. So with practice, you can get good doing anything. So using that lasso tool to be the next Vincent Van Gogh on digital artwork. Boom. There you go. But it's true. The more you practice doing something, the better you're going to be at it. So
right.
It's wicked cool. I mean, I'm really curious about that tool, though, to see some of the artwork on being produced by the lasso tool.
You might be able to get into that, Joe.
I might be able to.
I think you'd like it. Because it's not exactly vector either, because you grab a brush tool and then you can do gradient and pretty.
Oh, yeah, I see. Well, that actually comes out really nifty.
You trying it?
Well, I'm not doing it right now, but I just Googled it. I mean, I had to see what it looked like and everything. I have a hard time holding a pen with my right hand because I have steel plates and stuff in my hands. I can't bend my fingers very much. So, yeah. So I haven't been able to do art for a long time. But these guys have been so, just supportive and everything and just, positive. They've been getting me slowly back into starting to create things, but trying to hold a pen for that long or a pencil is just not in the cards anymore. But a larger tool like a mouse is absolutely perfect. I'm gonna ramble all night long if you guys let me. I'm telling you. Right now.
No, I think it's great for you to just start indulging and, like Jason just said, start sharing in the DCA.
I'm too shy for that right now. I'll get there though, Jay. I'll get there, man. I lurk in the channels in that server like daily. And I'm just blown away by everybody's work in there. I mean, it's absolutely amazing, all of it. And even just like the critiques, like how supportive everybody is in there. There's so many artists coming together to help better each other's work. I'm afraid that if I put something in there, it's like, hey, what do you guys think of this? It's going to be like, whoa, what diner did you draw? Napkin did you draw that on? And, we got to have a talk, Joe.
Well, let me sneak in something, actually. If you're a new artist and you just posted something and you generalize saying, hey, what do you guys think? I would suggest you make it less general and be like, hey, either I don't know where to start. Where do you think I can start to improve this? Or you can ask something more specific, like, hey, I'm trying to get the composition down, or I'm trying to get this anatomical part down, And I think you can get a much better critique out of someone else.
It's good advice. I like that. Mm-hmm.
So Copics, do you do anything else with the Copics? Like, do you use color pencils? Do you mix them?
I'm not a fan of color pencils. I've been using them in some of this life drawing classes. I'm pretty sure if I actually use them more, I'd probably like them a little bit better. But I guess for me, I like the boldness of the ink that I get a little bit more than color pencils, a little softer than I like. And sometimes I have a really heavy hand, so I feel like the Copics kind of fit me a little better. Sometimes I'll just do straight up traditional pencil, but it's been a long time since I've done just a traditional pencil piece. And usually if it is, it's been like a straight up like portrait, but I haven't done any straight pencil pieces in a long time. Portraits take a very long time, and I don't have that time.
So then do you use inking tools for outlines like Sakura pens or the Copic inking tools, for example?
Copic does make their own set of fine tip markers that you would use. So I usually use those, or I use another brand. I can't remember the name of it. I do, but I'm not going to be able to say it off the top of my head. But I usually use, I'll use their fine line markers for outlining, and then go in with their markers. So, and I don't like prismatic markers. They don't have the brush tip where Copics do. So it's more like you're painting than you are actually sitting there scribbling. So
the blending's also different. It doesn't bleed as much, or rather, there isn't as much alcohol content in Prismas as there are in Copics.
No, there is not. I have noticed that because I've colored on non-marker paper, and I've watched how much those things bleed compared to the Prismacolors, and it's a big difference. So, yeah.
Tip is, the smellier the marker, the better quality it is.
Y'all want to get high?
Just saying.
She's not wrong. No, that's awesome. Some of the works that you do with the markers, absolutely amazing. There was one that you did, I believe it was last year. It was almost like a Crota-esque type like cutout.
Yes.
I'm trying to find a reference for it, but it sticks out like really, really strong with me because it was just such an awesome piece that you did.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, this thing is awesome. This is all in marker, in those markers. Now you do, I noticed that you do some Guardian pieces too. The character pieces, and it's just
it's so big. It looks like lettuce.
Bear with me, Elaine. Gosh.
Oh, there
I gotta
it is.
Shrink it down, It comes
I'm not dissing your artwork, but how big it was coming in. I was like, that's just lettuce.
Nom.
But it's perfect lettuce,
It looks great.
No, that's absolutely an awesome piece. I mean,
that
like
was
marker's
actually was only the second piece I did with marker. The first one I did was one that had to do some Siva before that, but that was the only second piece I did with marker. And I kind of just went balls to the walls and was like, all right, I have to do this because I can't go back. As soon as you touch the marker to the paper, it's there. You can't really change.
It's not forgiving.
No,
you messed up. You messed up.
Oh, and I've had a couple of the tips, and of course, it's always like the black marker. It's like for whatever reason, the tip or the ink or something like that just becomes loose, and the ink just explodes out of the tip of the marker. And I've had it ruin a couple pieces, and I try really hard to cover up, but there's will be like this big of like an ink splatter on my drawing, and you can't tell when it's coming or not. It just happens.
Photoshop.
it's kind of hard to Photoshop.
There are very nice modern tools in that software nowadays that will just fill in the gap. It's pretty smart. Bandage tool.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
always forget about the tools.
Photoshop.
I gotta take a class on Photoshop.
Worth it. Go to Udemy.
Skillshare? I don't know.
Yeah, Skillshare, those kind of sites. Hey.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
A boo-boo tool? Is that what that's called, Jay? Now, there is one thing I do just want to sidetrack and derail for 1 second. Now, while I was scrolling through trying to find a couple examples to show some people in chat, you are pretty proficient at Frisbee golf, it looks like.
Yes.
Hey.
I love disc golf.
I can see that. This is pretty epic. Is that an award you won?
If you're looking at the right one, it should be the GBO Women's Intermediate second place trophy. Maybe, I don't know. There's usually one tournament I'll go play down in Kansas that has about 1,500 people in it. And they have like 10 courses within like 30 miles of the city, and like the whole city shuts down for like this huge disc golf tournament. I love it. I used to be bigger into the tournaments, but now I just play more casually because the women division is not very big up here, and I don't like playing against myself. And I could compete with the men, but I feel like I'm throwing away money sometimes. So, but I love disc golf.
How'd you get into that? Like, I see a lot more people doing it now, and I think they did just open a course locally here. But is that just something you just kind of stumbled into?
My parents actually were like, yeah, our friends told us about this thing called disc golf, and they're like, we should go out and try it sometime. So we went to Walmart, bought some cheap Walmart discs, and we all went out disc golfing, and me and my one brother really liked it. And then I progressed in it a lot, and he actually picked up again in it the last year or two, and he's gone pretty far with it. But yeah, actually through my parents, so it's kind of funny. Nobody else plays it anymore, and now I can't get anybody to go with me because they just go like, you're just too good at this game and I suck. And it's like, well, I practice. It's like regular golf. You have to do it. You can't just be good at it. It doesn't work like that.
If it's like regular golf, you don't even need me to play, and we're going to have a great time. Because just put me in a golf cart on a golf course, and chances are there'll be alcohol, and we will have a blast.
Oh, no.
I don't even keep score at golf. I really don't. There's no point. You're there to have fun.
Yep. Depends. If I'm playing leagues, I have to keep track. But if I'm playing for fun, I could just be like, meh, okay.
Jay's in.
Jay's always in. So there's alcohol.
Maybe we'll do something for like GCX. Well, I'll just go golfing for one day.
But nobody's actually golfing. Like, we're just in the golf carts riding around drinking.
Yeah, GCX disc golf right there. Boom. Just a genius. But no, that's a great idea. I like the idea of everybody playing some disc golf down in Florida. That would be fun.
Oh, and there's courses everywhere. You just have to look. They're very hidden. Very hidden.
It's surprising. Yeah, it is. It seems like they just pop up like everywhere. Like, there's always been one out. I live by Ithaca, New York. So there's one that's always been like in this person's like yard. Like, and I always wondered what it was. And just recently I found out that is their own personal like course. Like, they have the baskets with the chains and everything. And yep, it was because of some of our friends on Twitter were posting pictures of them playing disc golf. And it's like, that's what that is.
Yeah.
No, that's an epic thing. I mean, and also congratulations on winning awards. You know, that's
thank you.
Yeah, it's
awesome.
amazing.
Being against 1,500 people and coming in second.
Well, that was like the whole tournament altogether. I think I played against about, I think it was somewhere like 60 intermediate girls. So came in
that's
second.
Still pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's still amazing.
Oh, Jason quoted you, Joe.
Yeah, I'll put that on a t-shirt.
This is a funny place for a basketball hoop.
middle of somebody's middle of the woods, backyard. Well, it's pretty silly of that. There's no blacktop or anything to dribble on.
Ain't no dribbling here.
Yeah, I know what you guys are doing. You're doing it all wrong. No, Ruby, you want to bring us into the next part real quick?
Speaking of, we are so terrible at time management. Going off tangents. How do you manage your time between school, personal life, personal projects, getting stuff done? What helps keep you organized?
I guess I don't want to say routine because that sounds pretty silly, but I guess it is kind of a routine. I mean, I know as soon as I come home from work, I have to get homework done. If I don't like putting it off. And with this drawing class, since I feel like it takes a lot of time, my day starts, I go to the gym, I go to work, come home, school, dinner, and then whatever time I have left, I'm either gaming or whatever, or if I have time, if I'm not burnt out from regular school art, I'll work on actual art. But I actually been bringing some of my projects to work on at work, so I'll work on my own stuff at work on my break, so that way I can just do school when I get home, which helps because then I'm not burnt out from my homework at work, and then I can work on that later. But my social life is probably not the best, and being in as cold and snowy as it is, I really don't like to go outside. I mean, I go a lot outside more when it's summertime and I have disc golfing with people and I have a lot more people to play with, but I don't really like to go anywhere in the winter. I'd rather just stay inside and game or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Especially up in Minnesota, man. Oof. Oh, that's gotta be brutal.
Oh yeah, it is sometimes.
Probably get a lot of raids done, don't you?
It varies. We've been struggling to get people online lately, but it's whatever. I got other things I can work on.
Just to go into the video game talk for just a second, it's been stupid quiet online lately. Like, I don't know. It's just, I've been playing Destiny 2 since it first came out religiously every week for 5-6 years now. And even through like the lullest of the lulls, dead game, air quotes, all that, don't matter. I'd still log on, play some, do a few things, play with friends, run around, shoot aliens, all that fun stuff. And lately it's just been, for like ever since like Forsaken came out, it's been like a huge boom. And with cross save and everything, like there were so many people on all the time. But for some reason, this season in particular, it's been like really quiet like the last couple of weeks. So it's been really difficult to find people to like do a dungeon run with me.
Right.
Because that's like the easiest thing in my eyes to get like the power, not the powerful drops, but the pinnacle gear. Yeah. Because I'm not that good at these insane strikes and everything. It's like, let's do some crazy nightmare hunt. Sure. Those things are stupid easy. You go into that, it's like 3 hours later, it's like, we are not doing that again. No way.
3 hours later? It should not take you 3 hours to do that.
This is Joe.
I'm telling you, we have a ragtag group that goes through. And it's like, you go first. No, you go first. No, I'll go first. And why did you die? Okay, well, now we're all dead. Okay.
Why did you die?
It's like, I love you so much, man. I love you too. Okay, do me a favor. Stand here. Don't move. Just stand here and don't move. Okay, you moved. We all died. All right, thanks. All right, reset.
Well, and now... Sorry, I was going to say, now we have Crimson Doubles coming up, which is apparently like prom of Destiny. Where even if you have a boyfriend, he won't take you to the prom. It's not guaranteed you have a date.
Oh, this conversation.
Okay. I was dying laughing. I got out of work and I saw that tweet that you put out, and it's just like cue sad music. And you dove into like a brief summary of like what it was meant for. And it's like, Crimson Doubles, and your boyfriend won't even play with you. It's like, ooh.
Because I jokingly said, do you want to be my Crimson Doubles partner? He goes, oh, I'm already playing with insert other male friend here. And I was like, okay, all right. Hope they warm your bed at night. All right.
That is awesome.
But I'm not alone, is what I found out from my tweet. I am not alone.
No, definitely not. But it is cool that they're bringing a few extra things with Crimson Doubles. I mean, the sparrows, I want to see how those work, because apparently, like, if you get like close to each other, they like, I don't know if they lock, but they form the emblem for Crimson Doubles when you're right next to each other. Yeah.
Adorable.
It's adorable. Can we expect like maybe a Crimson Doubles art piece in the near future?
I don't know. I'm already working on a piece that I'm trying really hard to get done for somebody. I wanted to finish it, but
stick figures work.
No, I can't. I have to. It has to be good. So I'm
really
trying
good
really hard.
Stick figures. The lines are straight.
I used a ruler.
I will say I have been complimented on my line work being really well. So, I mean, I guess I can draw a pretty damn good stick figure.
Your line work is really good.
Have you picked up any fun facts while doing research for a project, or just fun facts you've learned in general that stick out?
No, I guess when I'm kind of researching a project, I kind of just zone in, because if I don't, I just like go on like everywhere. So I like try to just focus, I guess, when I research. So no, I don't really have any fun facts for when I research, or anything that are really interesting that I can think of at the top of my head that I've learned.
We'll feel around the floor. There might be a Snapple cap somewhere around there.
So much pressure.
No, that's cool. I will say Snapple caps are a perfect source for fun facts. They don't let you down. No, I'm kidding. Not really. I love Snapple. Sponsor us. How you doing, Ruby? Pretty quiet over there.
Jason has one. Kangaroos can hop backwards.
Can they?
Can't.
Can't. Oh wait,
really?
Can't.
Oh yeah.
I can't put it all caps.
Yep.
The
It's all
words are
caps
very
now.
tiny. I'm looking for my tablet.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Well, how do kangaroos back up?
They don't. They turn, I guess.
They're committed.
If one wants to fight you, get behind. Oh, get behind it. That's smart. I guess if you piss one off, just hide behind it.
Yeah, I ain't getting that close to one if it's pissed off.
No,
That ain't happening. I'm telling you right now, those things kick like stupid hard.
Why?
Why?
Dying right now.
The only one I have is the sperm whale's greatest enemy is the giant squid.
Oh yeah. Wait, is that real?
Yes, that is a real thing.
It's their prey too. If you actually get close to a sperm whale in documentaries or whatever, you can actually see the scars that they have from eating them, because they'll dive down and attack them and eat them, and you'll see like giant sucker like scars on their heads.
Their nemesis.
Crazy.
Also,
And go ahead.
I was going to say, also, anglerfish always look so terrifying, but they're literally no bigger than a football.
Stop. Are they really that small? I
Yeah,
thought bigger.
they're very
Wait,
tiny.
the male or the female? Because also another fun fact about them: only the females have the actual angler, and the males are itty bitty and boring looking.
Yes, for
cuddle.
once,
I didn't know.
For once in the animal kingdom, the ladies get to look good because, birds, the males are all like, oh, look at me, I'm amazing. And yeah. No.
It gets
There he
even
goes
worse
again.
for the guys.
Look
It
at
gets
that.
worse.
Nick's over there peacocking again.
So when they mate, the male will attach itself forever to the female forever
Wait.
feeding her what she
What?
needs to make the babies.
An anglerfish?
Yes.
Yep.
Stop.
Science.
This is not science. This is Google will answer this.
I saw that in a documentary years ago.
I took
Look at you
ichthyology.
crossing your arms all.
I concur because I took ichthyology.
Nice.
Well, I was going to piggyback off what you said about sperm whales is sperm whales, when they sleep, they actually sleep obviously underwater, but vertically. So they will dive down about like 500 feet or whatever, or 5,000 feet under the surface, and they will actually be vertical while they
Their
sleep.
purpose?
Mm-hmm.
Their purpose? Why they sleep vertically? And for how long can they sleep? For how long do they hold their breath?
Couple hours, I believe. A long
10
time.
years.
Lies. They sleep on land, Joe. Duh.
Random fun facts.
Boom. You know what? I'm going to try and clip this. And this.
I was gonna say, you're gonna put it on the. Is it just gonna be like this giant sperm whale coming across the screen?
No, I
Dang
can't
it.
find one in time. There we go.
So much research.
You know what? We're about to rabbit hole. 90 minutes they can hold their breath for.
So for how long do they sleep?
Less than 90 minutes.
I hope. And then for how long are they awake?
10,000 years.
You have so many questions right now.
Come on, Joe. Sperm whale expert. Go.
Oh, wait. Right
Why
there.
are they
Somebody
called-
already did it. It was an auto fill. They nap for 10 to 15 minute intervals.
Interesting.
The whales were found to spend 7% of their day in these vertical sleeping positions near the surface of the water, where they napped for 10 to 15 minutes. Researchers suggested at the time that they might be one of the world's least sleep-dependent animals.
Wow.
Boom.
Oh,
Science.
that's-
And that's from National Geographic.
Before you close that tab, why are they called sperm whales?
Do you really want to know?
No. We're on the subject.
We're so off the rails. This is There's look, number one thing. I didn't even finish writing it. Somebody else already looked this up. This must be a regular occurrence.
Why are they called sperm whales? I can't remember.
God, I don't even know what that word is.
How do you spell it?
You know what? I'm just going to send it to you. I'll put it in the Zoom chat. How about that?
That's cool.
Okay.
I got a lot of editing for this episode. I'm so sorry, Kayla.
I was gonna say,
It's
Kayla's like,
okay.
"What the fuck are y'all doing?"
It's okay.
The
That's why it's
sperm-
just so. Go ahead.
Is the word spermaceti? 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 It's spelled sperm, A-C-E-T-I. It's an organ which fills most of its huge head. And in the 18th and 19th century, New England whalers sought out the sperm whale for the valuable spermaceti oil, which makes an exceptionally fine lubricant.
Oh, oh yeah,
I'm
that's
not making that up.
yeah. I read that too. That's nasty.
Hey, we're over 18, right? Right? 18's the age, right? It's not 21, it's 18.
It's 18. Pixels After Dark with 3 X's.
Thank you for reading that, Ruby.
Today I learned.
Today I learned. All right. Well, that was our fun fact. I couldn't keep a straight face. I'm sorry.
Lou.
Well, Kayla, traditionally next, we actually ask for the 60-second challenge. We gave you an option, see if you feel comfortable, if you had any, drawing implements around or this and that. It's completely up to you. It's optional. If you want to move on, we can just keep cruising on through.
Oh, we can just move on. I'm going to pass on that.
Fair enough.
I just have a feeling it'd be some sort of sperm whale thing, and I don't really want to draw that.
You know what? For where the direction of everything went, it's a fairly good chance that it might be a cross between a kangaroo and a sperm whale. Just saying.
All right. Before I close this window, it's pronounced spermaceta.
You still go ahead.
I had to know.
That was a buck snort.
I'm done.
Jay's saying, draw a sperm whale, Kayla. Come on, do it.
Oh, that's good.
Draw a sperm whale guardian in crimson doubles.
That does not sound appealing whatsoever.
And he still can't find a partner.
Wow, we really there's just no nice way to pronounce it.
It's always a toss-up when I guest host.
A 60-second sperm whale looks like a circle with a squiggly tail. Oh, I see what you did.
That's just sperm.
I can't believe I read that. I'm sorry.
He has another edit.
Wow. Well, Kayla, to get us back on track, what are some tips or suggestions that you could give to an aspiring artist, just starting out? Is there any techniques that you'd like to share, or just any suggestions?
Besides probably what everybody else says, practice. And I guess one thing I guess would be important is draw what you want. I know that sounds weird, but my parents never liked what I drew, and they always wanted me to draw other things. So I felt like that held me back from drawing what I really wanted to draw. So I would say make sure you're drawing something that keeps you interested in what you actually want to do. Don't be pressured into drawing something that you don't want to draw because you're not motivated to do it. You don't want to do it. I guess that would be one of my key things is I definitely progressed a lot more drawing what I wanted to draw and not what everybody else wanted me to draw. So, and just practice. That's all you can really do.
That's solid. Yeah.
Even if you think it's something weird, just keep drawing it because that's what you like to draw. So.
I love it. That's great. And you know what? It doesn't matter what everybody else said, because if everybody is saying like a common thing, then it's true, and you just can't stress it enough. Practice, 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 practice. And like you said, draw what you want. I mean, I can give an example. Brian Monkus, the Chibis, He has to try so hard to draw one of those.
Right.
And that's what he first started doing in the community several years ago, was drawing the little chibis. But doing the sculpting, his art, charcoalish art that he does now, is so natural to him. It's like second nature that he can draw what he wants, and look on how much he's progressed over the years, just like everybody else. Everybody else has their own techniques and styles. And a friend of the podcast, David, said, draw something 50 times. Look at the first picture and look at the 50th and see how much you progressed. It just goes to just reinforce, it doesn't matter what everybody says. If everybody's saying the same thing, then there has to be some truth to it,
Right.
And keep drawing what you're drawing, because everybody absolutely loves it. I mean, Kayla, you're just freaking amazing. For Christmas, I'm just going to buy you some markers, just so you know.
I would love that. Just give me markers.
Yep, you're going to get an Amazon package. It's just going to be Markers.
That'd be awesome.
Gonna be markers and whale stickers. So you'll remember this conversation.
I mean, totally be okay with this.
She'll forget.
Hopefully they'll come in the same package. That way you'll be like, oh, I get it. All right. Joe's a funny guy. All right. Well, if nobody else has anything, I think that's going to wrap us up for the night.
Sweet.
I see Ruby with this little smile on her face. She's typing something. Yeah.
She's being
I
cheeky.
just saw the cat too.
Oh,
Can I ruffling him?
she was all up in my business.
I have to close the door or else mine will turn my computer off. Hey. Jason is saying we should ask you, why did you make a Twitter account?
Oh. Yeah, so I've only had my Twitter, I think, I don't know, maybe a year and a half. So I saw the Destiny art collaboration that everybody did. I saw the last couple years, and I was like, I want to be a part of that. And I had no idea how to be a part of that, and so I was like, well, it looks like I got to make a Twitter. And the last thing I really wanted to do was make a Twitter because I was like, I don't want another app to be on. And so I finally made the Twitter, and then I followed that, and I followed Salty Cat, and he's like, basically like, who the hell are you, and why don't I know you? And I was like, well, I just started this today. And ever since then, I mean, we've been friends or whatnot. So pretty much the whole reason why I made that was to be a part of that group and whatnot.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Yeah, it definitely was worth it. So I've met a lot of great people off of it. So I never knew everybody was so active on Twitter, even though I probably don't look at it as much as I should, but I just don't. But yeah, that was the whole reason why I made the Twitter account.
It was funny that he called you out immediately. Who the hell are you? Why did you call me?
I mean, yeah, kind of. He's like, why don't I know you? I was like, well,
Because I'm a new Twitter baby.
Yeah.
I'm a robot. I just started my account today.
Pretty much.
So, rolling off that real quick, since you made a Twitter account to be a part of the DCA art collab piece, or hear of it, to want to join and make a Twitter account?
Remember 100% where I don't know if it was on Instagram. I talked to somebody off of there. I think it had to have been, because I think they're like, well, yeah, it's all done off Twitter. And I think I actually really debated on really making a Twitter at first. And I was like, no, I'll do it tomorrow. No, I'll do it tomorrow. I just kept putting it off, because I was just lazy. And I'm pretty sure it was one of the artists that, posts also on Instagram, which most of everybody does. But I see that everybody's more active on Twitter than they are even on Instagram. So I kind of wish I remember who it was, but I don't. But it had to have been somebody I was talking to off of there that steered me in this direction. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
I came from Tumblr roughly around the same time. I regret it. It should have been on Twitter forever ago. It's like it was so quiet over there, and then everyone was on Twitter. And
yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I had a Twitter. I'd made one, I think, 6 months before I was on Bromance podcast, and then after that, I was like, all right, I guess I got to. I guess.
No, awesome. Kayla, thank you so much for being on with us. It's been so much fun. And thank you for putting up with our rambling.
Oh, thank you for having me on here. I had a lot of fun. I was really nervous about this, and I was like, I don't know what this is gonna do. So
you got random facts to take with you, though.
Yeah.
Yes, I learned a lot about sperm whales and kangaroos.
You're welcome.
And anglerfish. Don't forget about that.
And
Very
anglerfish. I actually have a funny story about an anglerfish. Quick,
I am dying to hear it.
okay. It's not as funny, but like, so my former boss made a fishing poster, and I put an anglerfish on it, and he's like, "I'll give you $50 if you can name that fish." And I was like, "That's an anglerfish," and he goes, "I didn't say $50. I said." Yeah, 50 doll hairs or something stupid like that. And it took him like 2 years to actually give me the money that he owed me. And I was like, I knew what the dang fish was. Give me my money.
It's like literally the most famous deep sea fish ever.
It's creepy.
There's super creepy fish, like way down in the deep. Like an angler, yeah, it's creepy looking. But there are some big cousins of his that are like straight out of my nightmares.
Have you seen the goblin shark?
Yes.
Yeah.
Those things are creepy.
Yep.
That's a big nope.
I've got submechanophobia. Watch out, y'all.
Wait, what's that?
I have a phobia of man-made objects underwater. So like boats and submarines.
Interesting.
And they freak me out. They give me really bad nightmares.
Okay.
So you can't go on a boat?
No, I'm not going on a boat. People get
Well, you
lost on
said-
cruise ships.
Well, this is true, but you said underwater.
Yeah, but also
wasn't sure if
above
you had to
water.
be submerged underwater and look up and it's like, oh my God, it's a boat right there. Like, or
I still don't trust boats though. So
okay, I got you. What about a party barge? It's not really like a boat, more like a.
I mean, if I could wear a life vest and fall off and still live, we okay. But like a cruise ship, no.
Fair enough. You learn
Sorry,
something new
random.
every day. This is going to be hashtag fun facts episode. No,
we need to wrap it up.
Again, thank you so much, Kayla.
Thank you.
Where before we let you go, where can people find you and find more of your art?
Well, I guess you can find me on Twitter at LOLPants725 or on Instagram as LOLPants725. Pretty much you type that in, you can find me.
It's a true story. Story checks out.
So, yeah.
Oh, awesome. It's been awesome. Elaine, thank you so much too for joining us and co-hosting with us. It's always a pleasure having you on with us. You just are filled with so much energy and just
randomness.
You can't even put a label on it. You're just so much fun.
Thanks for bringing me back.
Of course. We love having you. And thank you everybody for joining us again, and we'll catch you next time. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
This is the end.